Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to talk about our campaign case study which we did in Excel, Alteryx and even Python. Now I am about to do the same in the Microsoft SQL Server. So as you can see, Microsoft SQL Server is opened and our initial I have imported our initial file and let me execute it. So this is our original campaign case study file. We have some null values which we have to fill. Then let's start doing our campaign case study. Alright, in SQL. So there was a column F8 named F8 which I removed using alter table drop column, alter table name drop column. Okay, then after that I have selected star into C start. So I have selected the same table into C start from the DBO campaign starting data, just because I don't want to type the entire campaign starting data dbo.campaign starting data again and again. So I have inserted it into C underscore start. So let me execute the C underscore start. So I have actually updated the values. I have updated all the nulls that we had here. Let me execute again. So I have filled all these null values with the campaign one, and all these null values with above date. Similarly, this by down, this also down, this also down, this, and this. Every value I have filled is the above value, which is this, 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 this. Okay, you know already. So after doing that, update csart set campaigns uh, is equal to campaign 1, duration is equal to this, and product is equal to this, where serial number is 2, 3 and 4. Similarly, we go with campaign 2 and products and 6, 7, 8, and then 10, 11 and 12. Then finally we got this. Now we have inserted the same table into the C start 2. As you can see, it is the same table. Now what I have to do, I have to split this duration into two values. First called the start date, the second called the end date, for which we are going to use the left command, which we also did in our Excel. So select everything, comma, left duration, duration being this column itself, character index of this. It will find the this, what do we call this, hyphen. It will find this hyphen in the duration, so comma duration. So it actually calculates the index of it. So whatever will be the index minus 1 to get the character before. So the same logic that we used in Excel. As start date, then write duration length minus this. Then again we have used write, then the length of the duration minus character index duration. So what we did here, we calculate the length of our duration, the entire string length of it. We subtracted the character index of this duration, so minus 1 as, and after doing this, minus the character index wherever this is at, so the semicolon is at. So when we subtract that from there, then we will get our end date, which is which we have calculated using the write command, write function, sorry. And it will actually subtract all the values on the left side and take only the right part of it. Then I have inserted the same into the C3. Let me execute the C3. So start date and end date we have right now, after splitting it with the delimiter being the hyphen. Okay, then we have to, this is basically string, this is also string, so we have to convert it into the date time. So select star everything, then convert date time start date 3. So this 3, I will also put the link in the description of the documentation. So after seeing the documentation, the 3, when we use 3, then we will get the date time here. So that is why I have used 3, and similarly we did for the end date. And after doing that, uh, I have inputted the same into the start for, and let me show you after executing what is the start for. So after doing the start for, we have the date time start date time end date. Okay, so these are the date time values, so we can perform calculations on it like addition, subtraction, multiplication, etc. But actually we don't need to multiply dates. Anyhow, we will only perform addition and subtraction. Okay, so after that we what we did is calculate the date name weekday. Actually, we calculate the weekday of our start date and end date, so that it is a system generated. It will check the date and it will give us the output. So date name weekday will give the weekdays. So let us see. So we have got the start date weekday and end date weekday. So we have calculated the start date and end date weekday. Then what we have to do is that we have to calculate the Friday start date and the Friday end date. So we have to use the logic, like if it is Monday, then add 4. If it is Tuesday, then add 3, and so on. The same logic that we use in Excel, we are using here as well. Let me show you also. Let's go to the first. So we have calculated the weekday here, and then the same logic that we did in Excel, the same logic we are implementing in SQL server, SQL server as well. So wherever Monday it will add 4, then Friday will come, then Tuesday add 3, Friday will come. Similarly with all days we add the value for the Friday start date, and similarly we add the value for the Friday end date. We use case, when, then, end as aliases. So we use this method to calculate if condition here. Into we have outputted into the start 6. So let's see start 6. Now we have the date time of the Friday start date and date time of the Friday end date, which is what we want. After that, what we did is calculate the weekday of the Friday start date and end date. So just to be sure that it is Friday only. Yes, it is coming Friday in itself. So we actually checked it. So we actually checked it once if it is Friday or not. Okay. So after doing that, wait a second. Okay. So where were we? We have calculated this. Uh, yeah. So we have just cross-checked this one, so that we have Friday. Our Friday start date and end date are on Fridays only. Then we use the calculation to find a difference between the start date and end date, and we used +1 uh, to get this. So basically our duration is coming in the date time format. We actually want it into the integer format, so we cast it into the integer format using cast convert date time as integer as aliases, whatever we are providing, into the C start 8. Okay, so let me select star from C underscore start 8. Yeah, execute. So after doing the calculation and converting it to the datetime into the integer format, we are getting these number of days which we wanted. Now what we did is trim our spend and called it a t spend, where the spend does not contain the dollar. So trim actually removes a string which is a dollar here. We can actually use replace, uh, like if it is dollar, then we can use also dollar here and then this, but we have to use it two times. So select star from start underscore 9, no, c start underscore 9. Yes, execute. So after removing our dollars, we got this t spend. Now we want to see that, select star from c10. C10 is our after replacing. So we use this replace command. First, let me tell you, trim whatever you want to trim from, which column or string you want to trim. Then replace from, replace means from which column or string you want to trim, what you want to trim, and what you want to replace, and by what you want to replace. So we want to replace comma with nothing. So select start from C10. If we do, it removes the commas which we wanted. Okay, and this similarly what we did. Now this is our string format. Now we have to convert it into integer format. So we cast it again, the var character, into integer type. Cast convert var character into the integer type. That's how we do it. So select star from c underscore start 11, execute. So we have now spent our integer in our integer format which we wanted. Now we can perform calculation. Before we cannot perform calculation. Now, okay, so what now we are doing, we are calculating the number of products. So we calculate number of products by taking the length of the our product string, then subtracting the, after replacing our product with the blank. So wherever there is this blank, that many will come. So we got our products after subtracting this. Select star from C12. Let's do this. Copy. Execute. Now we see that our number of products are came. We also used +1 because we want the number of products to be exactly the same. Otherwise, it won't be, because uh, we actually in our product we are calculating this delimiter. So there is only one delimiter, so we have to add one as well to get to here 2 plus 1 3, which you already know from our campaign case study, which we also did in Excel and Alteryx. So we have talked about our trim, replace, cast. Then we have talked about our mm, why we did, how we calculated the number of products, and after subtracting the length of it by substituting that value to uh, this, and after that subtracting the same. Yeah. So now what we do, we calculate the spend per product after dividing the spend by the duration and the product and multiplying it by the product, which is the same formula we did in the Excel as well, you can see. And let me show you. After doing calculation, we have to actually cast our uh, change the data type of our integer type to float to get the round values, otherwise it is not showing correctly. So after rounding it to two decimal places and using the casting it to the float, integer type to float, and doing the calculation, we got this spend per product uh, with the accuracy of two decimal places, which we wanted. So that is why we specified round. Okay, now that is done. Now what we want to do is we actually selected all the columns we need and removed all the unnecessary columns. So after removing all the unnecessary columns, this is what we have. Okay, then we have calculated the min and the max Friday date, start date, minimum of Friday start date and maximum of Friday end date. Then we have to calculate the duration from it and add the values and create a column. So for doing that, we have to declare the start date as this date, which is our Friday min date, start date, I mean minimum of Friday start date, and this has end date, which is the maximum of Friday end date. After doing that, we use this method like with CTE calendar as select start date as date union all select date add. Then we add the DD day format plus 7 of date from CTE calendar, where date add date day 7 days is less than equal to the end date. The same logic until and unless it is equal to the end date, we will add 7. Okay, after that the selected date from CTE calendar into weekdays table. After taking it into weekdays table, let me show you also. Select start from weekdays table. So we all got all 21 values or the 21 weekdays. So select date as weekdays into WTD from the weekdays table. So select start from WTD if we do. WTD. Yeah, actually what I did is just renamed the column name date to weekdays. So I got this. Now nothing, I just cross multiplied it with our original that we have the C start 14, which we calculated, the last one. Now after doing the cross tab, now where were we? Yeah, so here we did the cross tab with that, and after doing cross tab, let's we into the C start 15 we took. Okay, okay, after doing the cross multiplication, we actually what we did is we took all the 12 columns and multiply every column by 21 times. So 21 into 12, we got 252 rows, which we wanted. Okay, then what we did, this weekdays is in not in the datetime format, we converted into datetime format and then output it into this new table, C start 16. So this is how it looks after converting into date time. Now we can use the flag calculation to calculate what all weekdays lie within the Friday start date and Friday end date, and the rest weeks we will remove. So select star from C underscore start underscore no 16. 17, yeah. So after doing that, we got the flag whereas we keep the values and we remove the values. We again use the case when then end as flag statement, and the logic we used is the same logic we used previously in our Excel as well when we performed that case study. I will also link the provide the link of our previous video as well in this video as well so that you can see. So now we have to just select whatever we want to keep and just remove everything else. So I selected everything from 17 where flag is equal to keep and inserted into C start 18. So if we copy this, paste this 18 and execute this one. So all the keep values we are having, the rest all are gone. So 104 values that we have. Okay, now what we did is use the same thing and convert our date time of weekday start date, casted it as integer format. Yeah, so what we did here, we actually subtracted our weekdays and start date and weekdays and end date, then we converted them into the integer format. Okay, then we output that into C start 18 19, sorry, 19, yeah. Now after executing, we have got the weekday minus start date and weekday minus end date. So weekdays are this and minus actually this start date is the Friday start date. Okay, let us also confirm it is, if it is the weekdays minus, no, it is not the Friday start date, weekdays minus start date. Remember, it is not the Friday start date. This is Friday start date, Friday end date. This is the start date and end date. So weekdays minus start date and weekdays minus end date we have calculated into this table. So W underscore S is weekday minus start date and W underscore E is weekday minus end date, which is the same value we got from the campaign case study which we also did in Excel. So let's cross check here as well. So if we go here and see weekdays minus start date and weekdays minus end date, 230 minus 37, 9th minus 30, so we are getting the same. Okay, after doing that, what we did is we use the same logic to calculate the number of days, the same logic that we did here as well. So after using that logic, we got the 20th table, execute. So we got the number of days which we wanted per in a week. So the number of days in the week, uh, we are having the campaign. Now we have calculated this. Now what we did is calculate this our weekly spend by multiplying the spend per product and weekly spend. The spend per product multiply by number of days. Spend per product multiply by number of days, we got the weekly spend. So now we got the weekly spend. Now we choose the necessary columns that we want. Actually I have not inserted it into anywhere else. So after that what I did is I have to split my product. Where is my product? Here. So I have sometimes 2 products, sometimes 3 products, so I have to split my product into 3 times. So I use substring this time. Product first index to 5th index is our first product, 7 to 12 is our second product, and 13 to 17 is our third product into C start 21 we did. So if we paste 22 and execute this, so what we did is segregated our product into three values, but we see that there is some error in the second one. We are also getting the third product which we want in the third. So because of this error, I use the left command to trim it again, the product to, and put it into the C star 23. So let me show you C star 23 as well. Execute. So after trimming, I named it as product2 underscore. So product2 have this value in it, but product2 underscore is not having such values, any such values you can see. Okay. So after using the left command, I got this. Now actually when I used the substring method to calculate the 13 to 17, so wherever there was a product it came, but where it was not the product it does not came null. It just came an empty string, so it is not null, so it is a empty string. Okay. So what we want to do is we want it null. Whatever values we don't have anything, we want them null. So I have used if case when then if product3 is contains this thing, this value, then this value, else if it is not contain this, then it is null, which we wanted. So after doing this, we do the select start from 24. Let me save as well. So after doing this, we got the product underscore 3, which is having the null values. Okay. Now we have calculated this. Now what we did, now here we use the logic where we actually convert our product, all three products, which is the product 1, then product underscore 2 and the product 3, because product underscore 2 also have error and product 3 also have error. So product underscore 2, product underscore 3 and the product 1 we want. Okay. Now let's see the format in which it is. So we've selected all the columns we wanted, into which we gave later on to give it into C25. So I will select start from C25 soon. So what I did here, from select start from C24 as original, unpivot, cross product for new product in product 1, product 2, and I also specified product 3, but because it has the null values, it was showing error. So I was not able to convert it into that. So what I did is I actually converted it to only these two only, and after that I added the third. I will, and then I united them. I will show you how. Select star from, I am just showing the same table C25. Okay. So, oh god, not the new query. Select star from C25. Okay. So what it did is created a new product new, where it specify the product new, one product, two product, one product and underscore two product, which we have, and the cross product as cross product, where these are the products which we want. Okay. Now what we are doing here is actually we just cross multiplied it, and this is the way we do that, by using unpivot method. Now after that, what we did here, selected 226 into 227 from 225, select start from 226. So when we calculated our 226, let me just do the select start into 226. Okay, we are doing into 226 from C24, where the product is not null. So let's copy this and make it 26. So after that, what I did, I just selected the C star 24, which is this one, execute this one. And what I did is taken all these values where we have this product here, otherwise we remove all the null values. So we use where product 3 is not null. So wherever the product 3 is not null, we will receive that and output that into the C26. So we got the C26 here. So we got the product 3 where we only have the product 3 values uh, uh, which are not null. So these are the 28 rows which are not null. Then what we did is selected whatever the common things that we wanted, where which are all these things, and all we input that into the C27 and C28. And let me show you slowly. Let's start from C27, select star from C28. So I use whatever the necessary columns and the product 3 as the cross product which we wanted. So after choosing all the necessary columns, we actually got the same number of columns with the same number of with the same name which we wanted. Otherwise it won't be united, it will show some error. So that is why we renamed it as a cross product here. And then we united, then did our union here as A, then inserted that into the C29. Okay, select star from C underscore 29. So after uniting these both, we are getting 236 rows that we wanted. And we have calculated the weekly spend as well and number of days as well, and all the products that we want we have. And we also checked it with our Excel as well. In our Excel also we are having the 237 minus 1, the header is 236 rows. And in Alteryx as well, when we checked it, we got the 236 rows. So we can see that we have 236 records. Okay, so this is the output that we wanted. Then we simply just sort it the way in which we wanted, and then we actually put it into the C end. We use the C start as the starting file and the C end as the ending file. Okay, and in the C end, let me execute. So it will not sort the when we actually sort order by, sort or mean order by, if we order by in our Microsoft SQL server, it does not, and import it into another table, it won't give us the sorted values. It will unsorted again, or unorder by again. Okay, so this is our final product which we wanted, or the final value which we wanted, and it is having all the values. And I have cross checked it with the Alteryx and Excel as well, and I have also done the same in the Python as well. If you want to see that as well, I can share the link down in the description. You can check that. And that is all for our campaign case study in Microsoft SQL Server, and thank you for watching.